Peace and blessings. This is Nubia I of the Blackberry Beauty Holistic Academy, Ancient African Healing for the Modern Sister. Thank you so very much. So I know, hopefully, if you're watching this video, you know that this is the first instructional upload for the Fasting 101 Intensive 2016. I actually, the first time I did the Fasting 101 Intensive, I did it in 2014, and then I did the 2014. I also used the same videos for 2015. So this year, 2016, this video and these videos to come is actually going to be all brand new. So this whole Fasting 101 Intensive is all brand new. Why is it brand new? Because I've learned so much since 2 years ago when I was fasting. I've been fasting probably for at least 20 years. Yeah, I've been fasting off and on for at least 20 years. So I've gained a lot of knowledge and wisdom and error, trial and error, and all that good stuff that you gain when you keep doing something and then figuring out how to do it even better and even how to teach it even better. So hopefully you saw the orientation video. That video actually was from last year or a couple of years ago, but it's definitely is fitting, kind of, sort of, but we're going to do stuff a little bit differently. So I just want to start that video today. So as many of you can probably notice, I don't know if you do, I am on my phone because my camera is actually in the shop and I get it out on Wednesday. So this video and then the Monday instructional upload video will actually be done on the camera, and the rest, or rather on the phone camera, and the rest will be done on my other wonderful camera that I absolutely love. So I want to talk about fasting from a whole, another perspective. I know this is our first week, and if you're going by the course description, which I know many of you have received already, you're probably thinking, wow, this first week we're going to do raw foods, and we are going to take a fast. We're going to do raw foods, but let me just tell you a little bit about what I believe and what I feel and what I know and what I see. I really think that fasting is so much more about than just about not eating food. I think it's about how do we create a lifestyle around this fasting, and I like to call a lifestyle intermittent fasting, where we're actually fasting daily. Not just once a season or once a year, but daily. Because I believe that most of us actually eat more food than we actually need or require. A lot of it is non-food, meaning it has no nutritional value. And a lot of times we're eating to fulfill something because we're trying to push down our emotions or not feel something. And I really want you to feel. For me, fasting is really very spiritual. It really can open up doors for you, but those doors are the doors that are closed within yourself. These are not doors that are outside of you that you have to push open or kick through. These are the doors within yourself, within your heart and your mind and your spirit that is preventing you from having what you want. And that is really when you get all the material things and you make the money and you set goals and you make the money, and you get the house and you do the land and you buy land, what you'll realize is those things are wonderful. But when you're fasting, you realize that it's the everyday living. It's how you feel daily that is actually making you more happy than anything that is coming in the future. And so I believe that fasting should be intermittent, that fasting should be something that you do on a daily basis. So the first week, yes, we're going to do raw foods. We're going to talk about raw foods. As a matter of fact, I did a wonderful, what I call my chia cereal recipe, because let me just tell you a little bit about where I am right now. I'm doing one meal a day. I realized that I don't need to eat all day and that it doesn't actually make me feel better. I didn't think that I was looking my best. And I realized I was just eating out of habit, eating when I was sad and upset, eating when I was bored, trying to fill some emotional voids. And because of the last intensive that we just did, the Raw Food Intensive 2016, the June intensive, I realized that because of that, I'm doing the one meal a day, I feel more vibrant, happier. I feel more younger and youthful. I feel like my body's in better shape. I'm just so happy. But more than that, I'm more aware. I'm more connected to other people. Yes, even more connected to suffering and other people's pain. And when you are connected to something like that, I tell you, it makes you feel different about your own life. You start seeing the good that you have in that. Fasting is really to bring light into your own being so that you can shine it onto others. That we really are here to serve. That everything else that we've been told has been a big lie. No, we're here to find our divine life purpose. We're here to make ourselves happy. We're here to fulfill ourselves. I don't believe any of that is true. I believe that our divine right purpose or divine life purpose is to serve. And ways to do it is to do it. The only way you can serve effectively if you are effective in your entire body and your being. If you have the light. And that fasting and juicing and smoothies and one food meal a day actually brings you that light so you can help others. And what Spirit told me was, as long as you're using that light to help others, then I will always take care of you. It says, Nubia, you will never go hungry. You will never be homeless. You will never be without, as long as you understand that this is everything that we're doing. Everything that we're doing on this fast is not to make our lives better or to get a really flat tummy or to have wonderful muscles or to even have this glowing skin, right? Or to have our hair grow or any of those things. Those things are bonuses. Those things are the blessings that come. Those are the icing on the cake. But the cake can still be delicious even if you didn't have the icing. And I want to be able to have a delicious cake every day, metaphorically speaking, where if I didn't put the icing on it, would it still be a beautiful cake? Yes, because it would be nutritious. It would feed other people. It would feed myself. And that's what I want you to do. So let's talk a little bit about this first week and what we're going to do as it goes to fasting. I believe the most important thing in our lives is water. And that the most or the best quality water that we can have, the better our bodies will react. Our mind and our spirits will be at a higher level emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And it'll make the fasting a lot easier. So remember, this is the first week. So what we want to do in the first week is we really want to go from, let's say that right now you're doing a cooked food diet or you're eating a lot of cooked food and you really want to do the raw food diet. Well, of course, like I said, I'm going to attach this chia seed recipe that actually I did with my husband. We've actually filmed it last week and we shared it as a bonus video for my last intensive, the Raw Food 2016 intensive. And this one meal a day, for me, it's a one meal a day. It may not be yours. You're not going to start off one meal a day. I just want you to know you're going to get there if you choose to, because there's so many ways and so many ways and so many versions of this because everybody wants something different. So before we even talk about raw foods, let's decide what you want. What is your intention? So the first thing I want you to do is get yourself a notebook or a binder, as I mentioned in the other orientation video, and write down what is your intention. Now, know that it may change, but it's good to know why you're doing this in the first place, right? And so what is your intention? Do you want to do this fasting intensive because you want to lose some pounds? Do you want to change your overall lifestyle and diet? Do you want to just because you want your skin to glow? Do you want your hair to grow? Do you want to, whatever it is for you, what is your intention of being in this intensive and what do you hope to accomplish? Because you have a personal goal, and so goals are just fine. So my intensive for the rest of my life, unless that changes, I would like to eat less, stick with one meal a day, and really get my nourishments from not just food. This is my intention. Not just food, but from the sun, from meditation, from taking sea salt baths, and from having a loving relationship with my child and also my husband. Like I want that, and I know that for me, that light shining will attract the house that we're going to build in North Carolina, will attract the more money that I want to make, will attract all those things. And as a matter of fact, as I'm speaking, is attracting that right now. See, that's what I know. So I'm not scared or worried about the future anymore because I know that I'm taking care of the now. Okay? And in that, yes, my skin is glowing more. Yes, my tummy is way flatter. Yes, my hair is growing a lot. Yeah. Yes, my skin has cleared up. Yes, my disposition is so much more happier and more fulfilling and more loving and just more, I'm feeling more sexy and sensual. I love to adorn myself. All those things are happening. But what I want for you is I want you to be healthier. So let me tell you my intention for you. I want you to be healthier. I want you to feel good when you get up in the morning and feel great when you go to sleep at night. I want your sleep to be non-interrupted and beautiful. I want you to have energy and vitality. I want you to be rich and wealthy. I want you to be abundant. I want all your goals to come true. I want you to have a loving relationship. I want you to have more money in the bank than you've ever had before. I want you to think about your future and feel safe. I want you to not have aches and pains and womb issues and fibroid tumors and endometriosis. I want you to not have negative relationships, but positive ones. I want you not to feel depressed or sad. And I do believe that this lifestyle, because I'm going to teach fasting as a lifestyle. I'm going to talk to you about the baths that I do, not in this video, but, the videos to come, and show you the baths that I do. I'm going to show you the yoga, the womb yoga that I do each day. See, this whole lifestyle, that's why I'm not saying a diet. It is a lifestyle. People say, oh, Sister Nubia, how do you get glowing skin? It's the foods that I eat, it's the water that I drink, but it's also the beauty products that I use. Africa 7 beauty products. I mean, yes, if you're going to eat right, you talk about fasting, we want to fast off of the harmful chemicals we put on our bodies, the lotions, the skin creams. We want to fast off the makeup that is not vegan. We want to fast off the liquid detergent we use to wash our dishes. I'm in my kitchen right now. I know you can all tell because I think it's fitting. We want to fast off of the harsh chemicals that we use to wash our clothes. All of it matters. And so a lot of the things I'm going to be talking about, I'm going to be using my black soap, my shea butter, my clays, and it's on my website if you want to go to Africa 7 to buy some of those products. I'll be letting you know more about that as I get my big camera and I can sit down and do the video and lay things out for you all. I think you'll all enjoy it so much. But this week, what I want you to do is I want us to get ready to fast. Because I thought about it. If I just say, okay, so this week is the first week, and we're going to get right into juicing, and we're going to get right into smoothie making, and we're going to just do a dry fast, you're going to be like, Sister Nubia, wait a second, you don't know where I'm coming from. Okay, and because I don't know where everyone is coming from, I'm going to have to assume that all of us are here because wherever we are, wherever we're coming from, it's not the best place. We're not getting what we want from it. We're not feeling our optimal. We're not feeling ideal in our health. And so that's why we're here. So the first thing you want to do is get your body used to a fast. So let me explain to you what fasting is. Fasting traditionally is not drinking food or water. Fasting traditionally was done for spiritual reasons. In the Buddhist belief system, it was for spiritual enlightenment. Enlightenment is really to be light within, and I like to say light without. And because you're so light, you're able to be more aware and more sensitive to vibrations and frequencies, to other people's and the needs of others, and also to be close to the Most High, to be close to your intuition, to hear her when she talks to you, to listen to her and heed her words when she tells you what to do. Like that's the spiritual enlightenment. The Muslims also do fasting. They call it Ramadan. They're fasting actually to be closer to Allah, right? And to let go of those things that they no longer need. Even the Jews actually do a fasting for atonement, and they're fasting to just do that, to atone for their sins. To wash away all those negative blots that they have had in their lives, and to ask the universe, in a sense, for the forgiveness of those sins and to make them anew again. And all of them really is about making anew again. I fast for all those reasons, for spiritual atonement, to blot out those karmic things that I may have done to myself, my body, my mind, my spirit, or to others. Also for spiritual enlightenment. And also, today we fast for other reasons, to clear diseases, which this is kind of new. We fast to get rid of diseases today. Today we also fast for mental clarity. Today we do fast for having beautiful, more brighter skin, healthy hair, a toned body, right? Glowing skin, right? So these are all good reasons and they're all valid. And so we're going to talk about the dry fast when we get to it. We're not going to do that. I don't think that's, I'm wondering for me if dry fasting now is even necessary when you're doing more intermittent fasting. Why do I want to teach you intermittent fasting? Remember, intermittent fasting is doing some sort of fast daily. That's intermittent fasting, doing some sort of fast daily, right? Meaning going without food and or water, or just going without food for a certain amount of hours a day. Or you can look at it another way. Intermittent fasting is when you give yourself a window. Let's say you say, I'm only going to allow myself to eat from 12 noon to 8 p.m. So you give yourself 8 hours to eat to get all your calories. And after that, and I'm not dealing so much with calories, but get all the food that you need and the nourishment that you need. And after those but before that time and after that time, you're only drinking water. Okay, so I'm going to tell you about my intermittent fast. I'm going to get you ready for it. Also, remember, a lot of you want to go raw, right? So this is the first week we're talking about raw foods. But for me, like I said, I'm going to include the video of how to make this chia seed cereal. I think chia seeds are like the perfect food. They're these little seeds that actually help to lower your high blood pressure. They're a wonderful sleep sedative. They help you actually sleep better. They're actually great brain food. They actually swell 30 times their size. So in other words, they keep you full and satiated. They're good for your skin. They make you feel alive. They're just amazing. And so my husband makes this chia seed cereal, and we include almond milk, which I'll include the link to the almond milk recipe. I also include a link to the green smoothie recipe that I made, because some of you will be doing green smoothies. Some of you will be eating the chia seed cereal. I also include a link to the salad that I made. Some of you will be doing salad, so you'll have, and also you can also look on the internet for other ways to do, to eat, raw foods and raw food recipes. What I don't want is what I did. I don't want us to think, oh, it's raw, I can just eat all day, because we can use raw foods to stuff our emotions and not deal with our emotions and not feel, just like we use cooked foods. So why I want this to be a lifestyle change is, don't you want to feel good every day, not just when you're eating raw? Or don't you want to feel good every day, not just when you're doing this intensive? So my goal is to continue this for a lifetime and to help you do the same. So one thing let me say about intermittent fasting, you're already doing it in a sense. When you sleep at night, those 6 to 8 hours that you're sleeping, you're fasting. You're not taking in food or water. What I would want you to do this week, the first week, is I want you to extend your fast, okay? If you can go without 8 hours or 6 to 8 hours of not eating or drinking while you're sleeping, why not when you get up? So let's say you got your 8 hours of sleep or less or more, and you get up, and it's about, let's just say it's 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning, 8 in the morning, it depends on who you are. I'm going to suggest that you do some type of physical movement when you first get up, when you're fasting, when you're breaking your fast. That's what breakfast is, to break the fast. I'm going to suggest that you do some type of stretching. For me, I do yoga. It could be 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour of some type of movement, right? Because whatever you ate the night before, you want to get that out. Also, if after the movement you feel like you want to have a bowel movement, or some people like to have a bowel movement as soon as they get up, go do that. And then I want you not to eat, depending on what it is. Let's say for me, I get up at 7 o'clock. I don't eat my first meal to 12 noon. Now for you, your first meal may be 10. So what I want is for you to eat 2 hours later than you normally would eat in the morning. 2 to 4 to 6 to 8 hours longer than you would normally eat in the morning. Because I'm dealing with people that are more advanced here, that might be raw foodists already. I'm dealing with people that have delved and dabbled into raw food, but not quite. I'm dealing with people that are actually vegan or vegetarian, and I'm also dealing with people that eat meat. So the first week, I'm not even saying to you, I do want you to have raw foods, but more importantly, we're doing a fast, right? So you're going to have all those recipes. I'm going to give you the almond milk recipe. I'm going to give you the chia seed recipe. I'm going to give you the green salad recipe, and the smoothie recipe. So you're going to know what to eat. You're going to have that. For me, I decide that I don't eat until 12 noon. But what I do, so for you, you're going to extend. Like I said, if you get up at 7 and you normally eat at 7, don't eat till 9. If you get up at 9, don't eat till 11. But if you get up at 7, you might not want to eat till 12 if you can do it. But what I want you to do, because this to me is the most important part of to me, the fasting we do. We're fasting where we're emphasizing water. Your body is over 70% of water. Your body loves water, thrives off water. Water can heal so many diseases. A lot of times when you are, as someone told me, one of my teachers, the first sign of dehydration, or one of the signs, and the first one is you start to feel very tired. Wow, I'm so tired. I got enough sleep. Why I'm so tired? Maybe it's the raw foods. I'm not eating enough. Maybe I'm not getting enough calories. That's what you're going to start to say. Why I'm so tired must be this change in the diet. This is intensive. No, it's because you're dehydrated. You're not drinking enough water. So what I want to do is create a nice canvas, right? A clean canvas. And a way to create the clean canvas is to drink lots of water, to get your body ready to fast, to get your body able to digest raw foods, which some people have difficulty, especially coming from a cooked food diet. They have difficulty digesting raw foods because their body's not even used to all this good amount of food. And also their body is detoxifying because of the cooked foods, so your body is detoxifying. One way to get your body ready to digest the food, the raw foods, and to actually do a fast where you're not hungry is this. My goal every day is to drink a gallon of water a day. Again, if you're just starting, you never drank a gallon of water a day, I don't suggest that. But I do suggest that if we're going to do intermittent fasting, right? So for me, I'm not going to have my first meal till 12 noon. You may not have your first meal till 11. You may not have your first meal till 10 a.m. It depends, right? But it's going to be at least 2 hours later than you normally eat. And so what you're going to do, what are you going to do in those 2 hours or 4 hours or 6 hours that you're not eating food? You're going to drink water. Now, this is a quart, which is 4 cups of water, right? 4 cups of water. Now, they say that we should eat 8 glasses of water a day. So this is 4 cups, which is 4 cups of water a day. And if I drank another one, that would be my 8. I actually do my best to drink 4 of these a day, which means that I'm getting a gallon of water a day. If we could get you to 2 of these quart jars of water, that would be great. And I actually fill mine to the top. So yeah, and that makes 32. So I fill it to the top, a little more than 32 ounces of water, and I drink this. So after I do my yoga, I actually drink the whole entire thing in one setting. You can sip on it, whatever it's going to take. You don't want to eat. Remember, you're intermittent fasting. You're extending the fast. You're extending the not eating. You're going to be drinking, but you're extending the not eating. This is very, very important because your body can get used to anything. What we want to do is we want to shrink your stomach because your stomach actually, this is how much food that you're supposed to be able to hold or eat and your stomach holds. So your fist size, if you're eating more than that, you're eating too much, right? Which means you can't think clearly, which means you miss a lot of blessings. You can't hear your intuition or spirit. What's going to happen right away, you're going to notice when you're drinking at least 2 a day, but at least during the morning. So let me say for me, before noon, I drink 1 of these. Sometimes I drink 1.5. Sometimes I even drink 2, right? But let's start with 1. Let's start with 1. In that time of fasting, before you have your first meal, I want you to drink 1 of these. I drink it in one sitting. It may take you an hour or 2 to drink it, but you cannot eat food, not right away. You're going to drink this water. Another thing that I do before noon is I also make myself a green drink. Oh, and let me get something. Hold on one sec, y'all. Okay, so you see I'm in my kitchen. You're right here with me. That's what I love about this. And so what I do is, again, I don't want it to be a big thing. I don't want people to think, oh my God, I don't have a Vitamix or I don't have a food processor. All the foods that I'm going to show you, you're not going to necessarily need a Vitamix. Even though I do have a smoothie recipe that I'm showing you, you don't really need the Vitamix actually, I'm suggesting that smoothies not be something that I'm going to push as much, although I will give you the video. I like us to do more juices, but what if you don't have a juicer? What if you don't have a Vitamix? I want to show you that you can still do this because I do it all the time with the most inexpensive blender out there. It's called the Hamilton Beach, and I wish I knew what model this was, but I will make sure that I look it up, but you can see it. They sell it at Target, y'all. I think it's $15. It's $15 at Target, and actually that's the base, of course, and here's the actual cup itself. So here's the cup, hold on, and here's the spout, and here's the top to the cup. What I love about this is once you actually do it, Put your liquids in, and your fruit, your ice, your water. Also, we're going to add spirulina. I'm going to tell you about that. You can actually take it off the base and look, it opens. It closes. It opens to drink. You can close it back. It's this is about 816. I say 24. So actually, this actually here is another 3 cups. So this is at least another 3 cups. So let's say that you drink this, which I still prefer, right? And then, because I want to do 2 of those, 4 a day for me. We're going to do 1 or 2 for you. Then what I do is, it's still before noon. I haven't had my first meal, but I'm feeling hungry. Water's just not quite getting it, right? But I don't want to make a smoothie because there's still a lot of food on my stomach. So what I like to do is, I like to use this, and I actually put some water in it, or sometimes I use orange juice, fresh squeezed orange juice that I make myself, or I buy. You can actually buy from places like Whole Foods or Berkeley Bowl. They actually squeeze their own orange juice and put it in containers, and you can actually buy that as well. Or you can just make your own orange juice, or you can literally squeeze the juice of an almond orange with a strainer, so the seeds won't get into this little blender cup, and you'll have your orange juice. You can have water. What I do is, I also use other fruits, because I deal with what's in season. So this is nectarine. I use nectarines. I cut up a nectarine. I cut up a peach. I also, of course, include always and forever. I include 1 banana. Everything is organic, so make sure you stay organic. Now, let's be real, right? Okay, this also include blueberries, raspberries, if I have them, or strawberries. Let's be real. This is a small cup. You ain't gonna get all that in, okay? The most I can get in is 1 peach, 1 banana, some strawberries, some blueberries. I like to do 3 ice cubes. You can do 2. I like it kind of cold. And also water or the juice, right? And that's it, because then it's full and you can't put any more in, but you don't need it. Mostly you want this for liquid reasons. The other thing I add, because I think that we're talking about fasting, that we want to talk about spirulina. This is the only supplement that I ever use. Other than that, I get most of my vitamins and minerals and micronutrients or phytonutrients from food, like green leafy vegetables and other things. But spirulina, I got this from Whole Foods. This is $20 for this. It's a vegan dietary supplement. It has B12 in it, y'all. It has 9 milligrams of B12. It has vitamin E, vitamin K, B12, lots of iron, magnesium, and of course sodium, but in a natural form, because spirulina is a sea vegetable. It's the blue-green algae that we talk about all of the time. It has antioxidants, it has enzymes, but it's also known to be a great appetite suppressant. So it suppresses your appetite, so you're not hungry for food. And it also gives you, it gives you a glow. It's like having the green plant, but without making a smoothie. I take about a teaspoon to a tablespoon of this, and I add it to this, which remember, and I'm going to show you Monday actually how I make it. Today I'm just giving you suggestions, but I'm going to show you on Monday how I actually make this. So again, water or juice. I put 1 peach, 1 banana, some blueberries, some strawberries. You mix it up. Just make sure that it is organic and the fruits and vegetables are in season. And when you eat bananas, I'm going to get those bananas again because I want to show you. So when you eat bananas, you see how Oz has the darkness. I don't know if you can see it. You see the spots and the darkness on the bananas, and they can get even darker than this. You want to eat it like that. When you eat bananas that are non-ripe, you're actually disturbing your digestive system. Your body does not like unripe bananas, and it will not digest it. So you don't want to eat those, right? Now remember, this is all part of I'm fasting. I'm not eating solid foods until 12 noon. For you, maybe 11 a.m., maybe 10. You're extending your fast. And every week we're going to do, if you're eating 2 hours later than you normally, the next week we're going to 3 hours or 4 hours for those that want to challenge themselves. The next week we're going to 4 or 5 hours. The next so you're going at least until you get to noon. I think that by noontime is the best time to eat your heaviest meal. The sun is at its highest, there's more energy in the atmosphere, and by then you're hungry, and your food will be able to digest because you have all those hours to digest. Let's talk about aging. Where does aging really come from? It comes from our food having to digest so much. Our bodies rather having to digest so much food that it can't be in the repairing stage because we're always using it to digest, which ages us tremendously. The process of digesting is amazing. When you're drinking all that water, first of all, you're creating that beautiful, clean palate, right? So you're releasing any toxins, any mucus in your body. You're giving the body by talking right now, I'm losing water. So you're giving the body what it's really craving. So a lot of times when you feel hungry, your body's not really hungry. Particularly if you ate already, your body is thirsty. Your body needs water. And so drinking this, when I drink this water, just one of these before in the morning, right? So, but a lot of times, sometimes it's two, because I also drink after I do my yoga. I have this 32 ounces of water. Then I actually I go take a sea salt bath. So I'm in water. I actually put spirulina in my sea salt bath, of course, sea salt and an essential oil, but I make an herbal tea, which again, Monday, I'm going to show you how to do the herbal tea because herbal teas have vitamins and minerals in it. I use dried herbs. The herbal teas, the herbs that I use is nettles, parsley, dandelion, red raspberry, red clover, and parsley. Those are the herbs. I'm going to show you them actually right now. This is my bag of herbs right here. You see it? And I buy this bag is full when I first get it. And this whole bag is $10. And no, I don't have a resource for you to buy the herbs. I buy it at a local herb shop. But you can go online and find out herbs and what to buy. And again, it's red clover, nettles, raspberry leaf, parsley, dandelion, alfalfa, and that's it. Red clover, nettles, red raspberry, parsley, dandelion, alfalfa. It's all leaf. Of course, they're dried herbs. So I drink this in the bathtub after having the 32 ounces of water. Then I have this, okay, this is another, and I put it in about an 8-ounce glass, maybe a 10-ounce glass of more liquid, but it's nourishing. So, and then when I get out of the bathtub, that's when I do my spirulina. I call it juice. That's when I do that. And so by 12 noon, I'm either good or hungry, but y'all, the more that you do it, the less hungry you get. Because I'm drinking more water, and remember, my goal is to drink 4 of these a day, a gallon. If you get to 2, you're great, including the juice that I do, including the herbal tea. I'm drinking more than enough water. I find that at 12 noon now, I'm not as hungry. Sometimes I have to extend it now and make my biggest meal of the day. I make it at 1 o'clock in the afternoon instead of 12 noon. So when I do eat, I eat this. It's called the chia cereal. I know you can't really see it well. It is chia seeds, almond milk. Again, the recipe will be attached so you'll see it. Blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, bananas, oranges, sometimes pieces of oranges. I got almonds. I got walnuts. I have hemp seeds sometimes. Also, I have pumpkin seeds, which is one of my favorite seeds. You eat, and look at this big old bowl. This is so big that I have to eat. Sometimes it lasts 2 days. So I make a big bowl. I eat some of it, and then I eat the other rest of it today. This is the leftovers from yesterday. I'm going to eat the rest of this today. Maybe I probably won't eat all this because it's now my stomach has strong. My body doesn't want it as much. So what I wanted to say is